What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this 2020 BMW M2 Competition. Huge shout out to BMW Northlake for providing this car for today's video. They have a huge selection of all the brand new BMWs and a ton of these M cars, so definitely check them out. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in black sapphire metallic and has an MSRP at $66,000. Underneath the hood, this features a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine that pumps out 405 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. The engine is paired to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, sending the power to the rear wheels, and with a curb weight at 3,655 pounds, you can expect to get 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat. And running off a 13.7 gallon fuel tank, you can expect to get 17 miles per gallon in the city and 23 out on the highway. The overall length is 176.2 inches. We have ground clearance at 4.5 inches. The width is 73 and the height is 55.5. The 2020 M2 Competition has a ton of aggressive styling all around. With the front end, there's a lot of sharp lines and bold angles throughout it. We have a large opening on each side of the front bumper to allow maximum cooling to the side-mounted radiators. There's also a lower front splitter with a large grille opening above that for more cooling. This car does feature carbon fiber trim, especially around the kidney-shaped grills. This has 4 parking sensors up front with BMW adaptive LED headlights with LED daytime running lights as well. The front bumper flows really nicely to the hood. There's a bulge in the center to help give it a wide appearance. And then as we make our way to the side profile of the car, the front fenders are flared out a little bit to help give this car a cool style. And then traditional for the M cars, you'll see the cutout on the inside of the side mirrors, giving it a fantastic appearance. We also have the LED turn signals, a sharp body line from the front fender all the way to the back of the car. We also have the M2 badge on the side. The 2 Series is the smallest coupe offered by BMW and has a very short and stubby appearance. I think that gives this car a very proportional look. And then moving to the rear end of the car, this has a carbon fiber ducktail spoiler on the top of the trunk. We get blacked out M2 Competition badge over on the right side, the BMW logo in the center. 4 more parking sensors are within the rear bumper. Then we also get a satin black trim piece for the lower diffuser, and then blacked out tips for the quad exhaust. The M2 features drilled and ventilated disc brakes in all 4 corners with a 6-piston brake caliper up front and a 4-piston caliper in the rear. This has 19-inch split-spoke design wheels finished with a 2-tone gloss black and machine silver. And they're all wrapped in Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires to help this car achieve 155 miles an hour top speed limited, and the unlimited real top speed is 174. So there's a good look at the exterior of the 2020 M2 Competition as well as some of the performance specifications. I have driven a few of the M2s before and they are awesome cars. I love the look of them because they are shorter and stubbier. They're just that small, nimble, fun to drive sports car. It's kind of like the old days of what the M3 used to be. So for me, I'm a huge fan of them. Comment down below, what do you guys think of the overall looks of the M2? It has an engine to back it up and a transmission to back it up as well. So now we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the interior. We have the key fob right here. You can go ahead and keep the car locked by hitting the BMW logo, and then going up to the car, just grabbing the door handle, automatically will unlock. We can get a great look at the interior. We have black leather accents, black Alcantara, and orange stitching. Before continuing with today's video, we are giving away a GoPro for the month of January. All you have to do to enter to win is be a subscriber to us on YouTube and leave a comment on today's video. Also include your Instagram name for the easiest way to contact you guys. But at the end of the month, we're gonna pick the video that had the most comments, and a random comment from that video is gonna be the winner of a brand new GoPro. Taking a look at the door panel, we have black leather and Alcantara along the side of it with orange stitching throughout, looking very, very nice. There's a carbon fiber look to it on the grab handle right here. Then we have all of your window and mirror controls as well as the aluminum grab handle. This car also features a Harman Kardon audio system and then quite a lot of storage space down below. This has the M2 Competition badge along the door sill and then orange stitching along the carpeted floor mats. We have orange stitching along these bucket seats, looking very nice to them, all finished off with leather. We have a really cool perforated design in the center of the seat, even with orange accents inside each perforation. As we make our way to the top of the seat, these are single piece backs, more orange stitching all throughout with Alcantara on the sides. And then up top we have an illuminated M2 badge, giving it a very nice look. We have a very thick round steering wheel with nice bolsters on each side. We even have the M color stitched into it, finished off in beautiful black leather. And then now inside the car, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have all of the cruise control settings as well as your M1 and M2 button. Over on the right side, we have all of the Bluetooth and audio controls. This car does feature steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They have a really nice look to them, and they're actually pretty good size as well. Steering wheel is very nice to hold. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have all of your headlight controls as well as your lane keeping assist buttons. We have one of the air vents on the left. Then we have some stitching along the dash, giving it a clean look. And then getting to the full color touchscreen display system. Controlling this, you can use the touchpad down here. It has a rotary dial as well as the touchpad on the top. Just going into the menu button, we get the main menu of the screen. And just scrolling over with a rotary dial, we can see all the different functions within the car. You can go into My Vehicle. You can change a lot of the settings within the car, different driver profiles, technology and driving information. If we go under vehicle settings, we can change how the lighting and door locks work, and then just bumping this over will actually go back, or you can hit the actual back button. But going all the way back to the main menu, we can take a look at the navigation screen. Very HD looking, and it does have pinch to zoom, and this all is touchscreen, which is very nice. And then going into reverse, which is like that with this dual clutch transmission, backup camera and parking sensors pop up, and then putting it back into neutral is down. And then going to drive, you actually bump it over like that. Beneath the screen are two more air vents, as well as that same carbon fiber look that you saw on the door handles. Very cool looking. We got the red engine start stop button with the engine on off feature. All of your radio controls are located right here, then climate controls below that. Just tapping this for your different fan speeds. You can change the temperature by just rolling the dial. We have heated seats, all the defrost and air conditioning controls. We can go ahead and shut that off. A little bit of storage down below with two cup holders and a USB. This does close. We have a traction control button on and off. And then right here is your different sport modes. It comes up on the screen as well. We have a Sport Plus mode, the efficient mode, and then a sport mode. And then when you are driving this, you have your M1 and M2. Those can be custom set. So hitting M1 will put this into a custom setting. Hitting M2, you'll have to confirm. That'll turn traction and everything off. So very cool, the different drive modes you get. You also have a steering wheel controller. You can go to Comfort, Sport, and then a Sport Plus feeling. Parking sensors on and off. And then this button right here, when you are shifting manually, will actually change how quickly the transmission will shift. Looking below that, we have the manual handbrake, Alcantara on it with orange stitching, more orange stitching on that. Opening that up, we have a little bit of storage in here as well as a USB. And then to take a look at the actual glove box, that opens up. We have a really nice shelf. And then just one nice look at the interior of the 2020 M2 Competition. Very clean looking, very familiar as far as other BMWs go. I love the orange accents, especially on these seats. Definitely a fantastic looking interior. And then we have all your dome lights up in the ceiling. And then to take a look at the rear seating, all you have to do is grab the handle behind the seat. This will allow you to move the seat forward, and then there is a button for the rear passengers to easily slide the seat forward. You do have all of your power controls and memory seat buttons on the side. Real quick though, these seat belts have the M colors on them, which is a fantastic touch. And then hopping into the rear seat of this car, I have the seat set to my height, which is 5'11" for the driver's seat. We'll just pull this back and pull it back about an inch where it was. There actually is usable space in the backseat of this car. This window is huge, so you don't feel too tight, and the glass is at a good area. You do get the same Alcantara and black leather, and a nice little armrest here as well. Looking at the center of the seat, it is a bench seat 4-seater car. We get a little bit of storage right here, more of the stitching. And then in front, we have all of your climate controls. We have vents, temperature, and fan speed. And then these headrests do fold up for better use, and then down for better visibility. And then to take a look at the trunk space, you can use the button on the key fob, the button on the door, or there is a button actually on the rear beneath the BMW logo. So opening this up, you can see all the storage space you have. And then if you look up top, you can pull these levers right here and then fold down the second seats. And with the seats folded down, you can see all the way into the interior of the vehicle. So I like how BMW's really maximize the space in a smaller two-door car. And then going back on the inside, just moving the driver's seat up, you can see just how much storage space this car has. Alright guys, so we are now setting off in the 2020 M2 Competition. These things are probably one of my favorite cars out there, especially my favorite BMW out there. I like the overall compact design to it, and the fact that you can get a manual transmission if you'd like, or this insane dual clutch 7-speed. But as far as normal driving goes, we're just gonna get up to some fun roads in a second. Normal comfortableness that is in this car. It is roomy feeling. feeling. For a two-door car, it actually has plenty of space inside. I don't feel cramped or anything. Visibility is really good. There's a lot of glass. Looking over your left shoulder, that side window in the rear is really large, and then looking over your right shoulder, equally as good. Mirrors do a great job. And then as far as just comfort and driving, there's good armrests. The seats are really comfortable, and they look amazing being these bucket seats. The previous M2s did not have these seats, and then once they called it the M2 Competition, you got these amazing seats. So I'm definitely a fan of this car a lot. It's been a while since I drove one, and they have a lot to offer. As far as just normal driving, there's no wind noise or road noise or anything. It's actually a pretty comfortable, smooth car. I can feel the suspension is a little bit stiffer. I wouldn't say it glides over bumps. It's not supposed to be. If you want that, get a standard 2 Series. You can already tell, even in the most conservative setting right now, that this is a true M performance car. It is a sports car. It's not just a comfortable luxury BMW with some sporty touches to it. It's an actual M car. So we're in the normal mode. All you have to do is bump this over, put you into manual mode, and then that button, like I showed earlier, there are 3 different settings for the slower shifting, quicker shifting, and then the quickest shifting. And then if I go into sport, the exhaust valves open up, gets a little bit more aggressive sounding, and then we'll put Sport Plus in the steering wheel. So this is almost the full-on sport mode. I can go to the M2 button, which turns like traction control and everything off. And just moving at a stoplight, you can tell this is a dual clutch. It engages kind of like a manual. You have to give it a little gas most cases to actually engage the gear. So just giving it some gas is when we start moving. And I like that. I like the character that this car has. It doesn't feel like an automatic car because it's not automatic. So then now on some nice roads to feel out some of the performance of it. I love the steering wheel. You have a really good grip on it. Transmission is lightning quick. The steering response is fantastic. It really goes where you want to go. And kind of funny, this is actually, I would say, more similar to the Supra than the Z4 is. And there are a lot of traits in this car that I do recognize in my Supra, which is kind of funny. But this transmission is really good. And taking a sharp turn like that, you can just tell how the suspension is set up. It is very composed feeling. And then just playing with the steering wheel, we'll go to the comfort mode. Wow, that is so light. And then going into sport mode, it is much heavier. I love the transmission. It's super responsive. Probably one of the better dual clutches out there. As soon as I hit the paddle, we're already shifting. The brakes do a good job, vented and drilled all around, and you got some huge calipers all around this thing. But this is definitely a nimble, darty car. Everything you want to do, the car does. I've always been a fan of these cars, and the fact that you can get a stick shift, which is pretty sweet. So going through some quicker turns now. This car is definitely fun to drive. I love the handling. It is so responsive. You move the steering wheel just a little bit, and it does exactly what you want. Transmission. Just feeling the power a little bit. And that is like less than half throttle, and the car really just moves. This car has a lot of horsepower and torque to it. And then just some quicker turns. I'm definitely a fan. But even taking some quicker turns, the car, there's like no body roll at all. It feels super flat. I like how it totally feels like a true-on sports car. As far as the user interface goes for using the BMW technology while driving, all this stuff is very simple to use. It took me like a week to get used to how everything works for the infotainment. So if you aren't familiar with BMW, this whole touchpad right here and the screen, super intuitive, and I've grown to be really fond of that, like how everything works. And then the fit and finish in the interior, it's really nice. There's nothing too fancy about it. It's not supposed to be a luxury car like that. But I like how everything is laid out very sporty and very easy to do. And then back in slow speed, we'll see how the turning radius is in the car. And the backup camera, I like how good the graphics are. You do have to wait for the transmission to engage a split second, which is kind of normal for any type of automated manual like that. Turning radius is actually pretty good. I did not hit the grass, so that is pretty good. Most sports cars are a little bit more aggressive on their turning radius. And then doing some downshifts. It's got a nice exhaust tone, nothing too crazy, but it's got some muscle to it. This does have pretty much the same engine that you'll get in the M3s and M4s. Gives you a little kick in the back for upshifts. But yeah, that handling definitely is on point. If you are looking for a really good, nimble sports car, M2 hands down is the way to go. I'm definitely a fan of them. I like a lot of what this car has to offer. But I think that about is going to wrap up driving in the 2020 BMW M2 Competition. I'm a big fan of them, so I don't really have any complaints with it. There's a lot of other car. You can get a sunroof if you'd like. There's a ton of carbon fiber features you can get if you'd like. So it is a car that from the factory you can get quite a lot of options, and then all sorts of safety features, technology are in this car, adaptive cruise control, parking sensors, lane keeping assist, all that kind of stuff. But that is about going to wrap up the M2 competition. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember, we are giving away a GoPro this month. If you'd like to enter, all you got to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on today's video. Now, once again, huge thank you to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this M2 competition for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website in the description below. You get a ton of these M cars in, so definitely check them out. But that is going to wrap up the video. Give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.